How y'all doing today? Content analysis 2750. My puppy dog is my profile picture. As always, I start with a quote, and I would like for people to subscribe, like, share, dislike, comment, whatever you feel you want to do. Older guy trying to give some younger guys some real game without all the extra gossip stuff. Trying to look at content and really give you the real side of it, streetwise and intellectual-wise. Today's quote, because I always start with a quote, is highly visible assault perpetrators are not criminal exceptions, but manifestations of this broader culture of violence. There's a big culture of violence going on today. If anybody really want to see it, and you're not seeing it in your neighborhood because you're looking at YouTube and you're sitting around and you finding excitement and seeing the ongoing drama and hearing about people's pains and miseries and downfalls, that's a broader culture of violence. It's really broad, and the school shootings, the violence goes broad, so the highly visible is really, what the media portrays. So the highly visible assault perpetrators are not criminal exceptions. They're not the exceptions of the criminals, but manifestations of this broader culture of violence. So why do I bring that up? I bring that up because I want to revisit this. I want to revisit this. I don't know. I might don't get a copyright claim on this because sometimes I get that little copyright claim on this YouTube thing. I want to revisit the Taxstone Troy Ave thing, and in it you got some Maino, some Joe Budden, some Trife Gangster, which is Banger's brother, and some Cassanova. I sat back and I wondered. I said, Taxstone jackpotted himself. He put himself away, and everybody's talking about how much time he got. I just read an article where somebody got 16 years for manslaughter 1. I got 12 years for manslaughter 1. I got charged with a murder second. They putting it on my homeboy. I'm ready to go to trial, and things looked crazy, because I had street dudes actually telling me that, and telling my moms that I was doing too much in the neighborhood, so they're gonna put me away for the rest of my life. So my moms is scared, and I just considered this, and they offered me 12 years, pleading guilty of manslaughter 1, and I took that. I did 7 out that, and I came home with 5. Taxstone got a manslaughter 1. The maximum on a manslaughter 1 is 25 years. It's 25 years, so he got 6 in. He got a federal case that he's going to do for guns, which more or less is going to run consecutive, which means he's going to do a state bid, and then he's going to come out and he's going to do his federal bid. He's not even going to come out, Once he pack up to leave the state, the feds are going to be right outside to grab him. If they don't grab him before he even go out, because that's what they did to me. When I was ready to come home, they came to the jail and they got me and took me to the federals. So I went back and I think, what could have been done so much that made this guy Taxstone, who was begin doing good with his podcast, who started. So he said he would start doing movies. He was going up. You know, guy from the neighborhood with nothing, coming out of jail, was on his way to celebrity status, and for some reason, he bought into his past behavior, the mentality of his past behavior, into the ideologies of people who not going nowhere. It's old guys. Old guys. Old guys. I'm talking about 40, 50, some of them even 60. They in shape because jail preserves you. That's out there. That's going nowhere. They're on the corner. They're drinking. They want to smoke bud with the young boys. They want to drink Hennessy with the young boys. They know that Hennessy is too strong for their old ass. And they want to do all of this and they want to do all of that. And they're not teaching the young boys nothing. It's not showing them anything. They just kill, murder, maim, go to jail. And if you do good, people want to pull you down. Crabs in the barrel, man. That's why I put that saying up. But I said, what could make Taxstone actually think that he was in a situation where nobody was threatening his life and nobody came after him? They did in the end, but that you had to approach a situation with 1,000, over 100 people. A lot of people, you're in a venue and there's a lot of people, and if you think that some of them people is not going to tell what happened, you're an idiot. You are a total idiot. If you think that you're going to do something and these cameras is outside and they come and get some of these cameras, somebody's not going to give them up. I had cameras in my store. I didn't give my cameras up. I said they didn't record. And if they would have tried to subpoena me, because I know the law, I know they could try to subpoena me, they got to leave and come back with the subpoena. They can't wait in my store until they get the subpoena to get my camera. I'll take the recorder out. So I never want nobody to go to jail over the dumb shit they did in front of a camera. They had a store down the block and they had cameras pointing my store, and I had somebody go break them. I asked them to move them. They didn't want to move them, so I broke them because I know that I might do something. And I don't want to be on camera doing what I got to do. And sure enough, my day came and I had to do somebody really dirty in front of my store. But I wanted to wonder what happened, so I began to do my little research. And I came across this video right here. I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright claim. It is what it is, but let's see why Taxstone felt the need to go after Troy Ave, and let's analyze it. That's why I'm content analyst. Let's go.
I don't have an issue with Troy Ave. I think his music is mediocre, and he tried to portray this image that he was making greater music than everybody in the city when he wasn't. You know, it was a time when Bobby Shmurda was the hottest person in the city. He was trying to say he was the best, trying to take the. I was I had to be the person to interrupt that. So I just feel like he's a fraud rapper. He never was a drug dealer. This dude is just weird.
So he says he never had no beef with Troy Ave. Troy Ave said that on a couple of podcasts and some interviews he did too. But he felt that because of what Troy Ave was saying, he had to be the one. Everybody, he had to be the one to check that. And I don't blame him for that, because Charleston White said he tried to be positive on YouTube and nobody wanted to look at that. Everybody wanted to look at the drama. So he began to create himself as a character all about this drama. But at the same time, he want to let you know that if you miss your mark, you're going to jail, because I'm telling you. He didn't hide that. And I believe that he will tell. He show all these weapons and all this, but should his weapons fail and you twist him up and he live, he's telling. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. He did that video where he's saying China Mac come on to his performance where he was doing the comedy show, and he showed in the hotel with all these guns, and he put the phone up and said 911. I got this Chinese guy. He will tell. So here Taxstone says, it gets a little deeper. He says Troy Ave fronting. Bobby Shmurda was hotter than Troy Ave. And I like some of Troy Ave's music, though. Troy Ave was doing good for New York. Like, he wasn't running New York. I don't see nobody like putting out like them down south people for New York. And a lot of the New York people, the rappers, they're copying the down south thing. I think that only thing they should copy is some of that funky music, because you should be able to dance to it at the same time you listening to it. A lot of New York rappers, they got that boom bop beat, and they think you're supposed to listen to them. Like, I turns from it. I don't want to listen to you, young man. You're not saying anything. I play rap all the time in my car, and the rap music I have is kind of inspirational. It kind of like makes me think about what I'm going to do, make me think about where I'm going. It don't make me think about killing, because killing is easy. Human beings are easier to kill than deers and bears and the foxes and birds. Hunting animals is harder than killing a human being, because human beings are so dumb. They think nothing can happen to them. They so tough. But anyway, let's get back to it.
You know what I mean? So that's really it. It's no issues with Troy Ave.
So what did you say that kind of got, because he just released this song about you. So
yeah,
what did you say to
like a 3-minute diss record. I think it was his best record ever. I actually like the record. I played it 76 times. What did I do? I bothered him for 5 years, like just on social media, just calling him out on different things. You know what I mean? He likes to bully like little scrawny white people, but when it come to dudes this. He think to take him on, he falls back. So I think at this point he decided to attack me after 5 years of attacking him is because now I'm like on MTV and shit like that, and I have like a podcast that's jumping off tax season. So I feel like he probably just used that like, oh yeah, I know he ain't gonna jump all the way out the window. But
so he bullied Troy Ave for 5 years, getting on him about various things. And he said Troy Ave decided to come back at him. And at some point in his mind, what he's thinking is that Troy Ave figured that he's on MTV, he's doing his podcast, he's doing a lot of interviews, that regardless of what he say, Troy Ave say about him on social media, that he's not going to respond violently because he's got something to lose, which is kind of smart. It's playing the game, because you cannot let nobody pick your battles. If you let a person pick your battles, you're fighting a battle at a fault, because you're fighting when they want to fight. That means they're ready and you're not. They're pulling you in. So you got to pick your battles. And Troy Ave figured like, this is the time for me to pick my battle. Now, he spoke about Troy Ave bullying little scrawny white guys and guys who he felt that they couldn't contend with him in the field of violence, so he would bully them. But this guy, Taxstone, was bullying Troy Ave. I don't feel no way about that, because when I was locked up, I hate bullies. And a lot of times what I did was I messed with the underdogs. Like, I have the underdogs, and I tell them, yo, listen, man, I'm going to protect you. You're going to go to the yard. You're going to work out with me, and you're going to, if anybody say anything to you, you're going to say you're my son. And not my son meaning I've got you washing the drawers and cleaning my cell and doing all that stuff that the normal son does in jail for a guy. I'm saying as my son because I'm your jail dad. I'm looking out for you. I'm not taking nothing for you. I'm going to make sure you keep what you keep. And one guy decided not to say it, and his bid was hell, because he couldn't hold what he had. So he went to the wolves. When we took him to the yard and said, yo, man, this is my son. Don't fuck with me. I ain't your son. He paid for that, But everybody who did it, they did it, and I'll uphold it. And I'm not lying. I don't gotta lie. I did very well in a penitentiary. So now he's a bully. Troy Ave decides he's gonna fight back now, because the bully get away with shit for a minute before somebody put the battery in the guy being bullied or the girl being bullied back to fight back. And then when they fight back, the bully always loses. It never goes any other way with the bully. The bully always loses in the end when the person he bullying decides to fight back. So he said, oh, Troy Ave, he not going to bother nobody like him who going to, you know, bust that gun and do whatever he want to do. But in the end, you came with a gun and your gun got took it. You bust a lot of shots, bro. And you was not able to back out that door with your gun. You end up running. No disrespect to you, and life is the way life goes, you know. I feel for you because I feel that you should have never got yourself involved in this situation. And as we go on, I'm going to show y'all some other things. I know YouTube don't like nothing positive, but this is a negative with a positive. Maybe y'all like this. Let's go.
But you know, he's not too smart.
Twitter fingers, how many times you gonna tweet me? I'm always on the fly, guess you too scared to meet me.
Hell no, I've confronted him, no. I've been in his video shoot.
Whoever's, he ended that with, he's not too smart. If he thinks he's the smartest guy, I beg to differ. He wasn't smart at all. He wasn't smart.
It's with Maino. This was last year, April, and I've been harassing him for 5 years. So he needs to stop it. You know, he knows. You know, it's some shit. And you know that was some backed up shit for you to rap about a nigga that don't rap for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, that was deep. My favorite line was, Cass beat you up in jail. Guess what, y'all? Cass did beat me up in jail. But guess what? I beat Cass up 3 times before that. He got me arrested. You know what I mean?
He said Cass got him arrested. Oh, my Lord. This the big 8. This the big game banger. This guy got on a whole interview on social media and said that Cass got him locked up. And he still was cool with Cass. Casper said that. He still was cool with Cass. So all y'all people out there talking about what happens with the rat, y'all better think again and restructure y'all thoughts, bro. Y'all better like not focus so much on them rats and do what you gotta do, man. Because look what he said. He got him locked up and he still was cool with Cass. A nigga get me locked up, I'm not fucking with him no more. I'm not gonna do good and try to go after him because I know that I really gotta murder this guy. And with all these cameras, I gotta get away with the murder. And a lot of times the rat, he gonna make sure he's in a place where you can't get caught. See, a rat, he's gonna tell indirectly or directly. He's gonna tell directly. I know people who wrote, if something happened to me on their arm, in the drug game, I swear I'm not lying to y'all. If something happened to me, such and such did it, whoever he had beef with, I'm not lying to you, bro. And they call that a dying declaration. They use that in court if they get you and they get all the evidence, forensic files, you know, y'all gotta watch that. You know, so at the end of the day, he said Cass got him locked up. And we're gonna talk about that too.
I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, my nigga? Like, so what? I lost mad fights. Niggas telling you still want to fight me, though. Know what I mean?
These young boys, they scared to lose fights, man. They scared to lose fights. As soon as you go like this, they going like this. As soon as they know you going like this, they carrying that gun. And when they see you, they putting their hand on it. They scared to lose fights. Look at the Soulja Boy situation with Charleston White. Charleston White said it was a bunch of them. He's pepper sprayed Soulja Boy and nobody did nothing. They saw him pepper spraying that dude from the restaurant. That dude was all in there. They don't want to walk around with that black eye like they're a boxer. Let's go. Okay, this is over. So I seen that. That's the unseen video, unseen footage of Troy Ave shooting. That was wild. Taxstone fired a lot of shots before that gun got taken from him. He did, and he still didn't walk out with that gun. He ended up running, and he lost his gun. I don't know how good a fighter he is, but So he ain't supposed to have been shooting and backing up, getting out, retreating while he busting them shells, keeping everybody from around him. But he did some other shit, and Troy Ave ended up with that gun. Crazy. But buddies really never win when you fight back. But anyway, that's the situation with Taxstone. As I said, I wanted to see what could make this guy start doing good and end up in jail over some nonsense. So he ended up doing what he wanted to do, and Troy Ave came out on top, got shot, Banger died. Troy Ave came out living. Troy Ave got locked up. He got locked up. And Troy Ave decided to testify against him. Matt Alpha asked him, is you going to tell the truth or is you going to rat? And I don't know what the difference is. I really don't know what the difference is, because you're going to say what you say, and if somebody's convicted of what you're saying, then you can be considered a rat. So it really don't make no sense with the question that you're asked. But Troy Ave said, facing the time he's facing, he's not going to jail. He didn't kill Banger. He didn't shoot himself. He said he didn't shoot the people. And the people came to him and said they want to get a murder conviction. What's everybody want to talk about, oh, he wasn't never convicted of the murder. He was convicted of the manslaughter one. That was a manslaughter from the beginning. The DA was reaching, trying to get a murder conviction. Murder in New York is premeditated. That means he had to go, him and Troy Ave had to have an argument before time. See, that's what they were hoping Troy Ave said. And he was saying, I'm going to kill you. When I see you, you dead. Then show up with the venue with a gun and end up killing Banger instead, so he'd get that murder. He got the manslaughter one because of what Troy Ave said. It's Troy Ave testimony that got him the manslaughter one. It's not no big, great thing that ended up with the manslaughter one. No, he committed manslaughter one from the gate. Manslaughter one, manslaughter in general, is you get in a fight, you're fighting, guy whooping you out, you got a gun, he getting ready to take your gun, you scared he gonna take your gun, you back that gun out, you fire a shot and you kill him. That's manslaughter. That is not murder. You came to the situation to have a good time. You came to the barbecue, you wanted to have a good time, and all this guy starts trouble with you. You got a gun on you, you got a knife on you, you fighting, he whooping you out, you back the gun, you back the knife and stab him, he dies. That's manslaughter. That's not murder. But the DA will reach and try to get the murder to say you came there with the intention to kill. Taxstone didn't come to that venue with the intention to kill. The DA was reaching. So they got him found guilty of what actually was the charge. He could have also, see, they didn't put the lesser charge of manslaughter one in there, because what he should have really been charged for was reckless homicide. See, New York has that too. Reckless homicide, because see, Troy Ave is saying he fighting. That's why he should have took the stand. Because if he could have took the stand, he would have got a lesser charge. Probably not even found guilty of the manslaughter one, because the reckless homicide was not part of the charges that he was going up a trial for. It was murder, second, and manslaughter. It wasn't reckless homicide, unintentional homicide. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. So if he would have got on the stand, and he would have said they came beating him up and all this other stuff. He came, he pled guilty to guns already, so you ain't worrying about the guns. When he would have got, they beat me up, I didn't know what to do, boom, they punched me in my arm, boom, boom. I had the gun on me, I pulled the gun and just start firing. He wouldn't have been charged with manslaughter one. I would have took that stand. I would have took the stand in my own defense. I would have never let Troy Ave get up there and tell his whole story when he's helping me. I'm going to show you. We're going to get to that. So now, We're going to go to a little bit of Troy Ave here. This is what was written about Troy Ave. A running feud between the two artists finally boiled over that night after Collins said he and McFadder walked into the VIP room before he was scheduled to join T.I. on stage and saw Campbell. He said there were about 100 people packed in the room when he heard Campbell shout out, "What's poppin'?" in what he perceived to be a threatening way. Banger turns around to him and says, "I'm going to rock him," which means I'm going to hit him. Collins testified. Then I wink at him. I tell him, "Do your thing." He said that's when Campbell reached in his waistband and pulled a gun, propping the fight that ended with McFadder dead. Now, right there is where Taxstone had his say-so, because he said, "What's poppin'?" Now, what poppin', that could mean what's up, how y'all doing. It doesn't necessarily mean threatening. You know, the homie say what's poppin' on down. Yo, what's poppin'? What's poppin', fool? What's poppin', scrap? What's poppin', homie? Yo, what's poppin'? Yeah, that's poppin'. You know, like, it doesn't mean violence from the gate. So then Banger turns around to him and says, "I'm going to rock him." Troy Ave said what it means, "I'm going to hit him." Collins testifies, and then I wink at him and tell him, "Do your thing." Right there, Taxstone could have used that and said, "I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, this dude comes up to me and punched me in my face. Next thing I know, Troy Ave start hitting me. They're jumping me. I don't even know why. When I said what's popping, I said what's popping and say what's up. I didn't have no problems. I was trying to just talk." And then they start popping on me. So I put a gun from my waistband and I start firing. You're admitting that you shot the gun, but you're saying that you shot the gun because you were under distress. They were beating you up. Taxstone is an idiot. You know, he's not so smart. He wanted to get on his podcast and say Troy Ave not so smart. Troy Ave is smart. He's facing a lot of time, and Troy Ave was able to even go on the trial and testimony, and the people that Troy Ave might have shot, they charged Banger with it, because Troy Ave shot that gun in the crowd, man. There's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of people in there. Chances are he hit somebody. And then you got caught with guns. What happened to the guns you got caught? So Troy Ave played chess and he won. You were dumb. I would have got on that stand. You played yourself. Ain't no lawyer telling me nothing. I'm getting on the stand. I'm listening to him, and then I'm saying I want to take the stand. And I'm saying, yep, that's exactly what happened. I didn't know that Banger said he was going to rock me. I didn't know why they start beating me up. But they start beating me up, sir. Ma'ams, they start beating me up. And nobody was helping me. Nobody was pulling them over on me. And I had a gun on me. And when I pulled it, I just shot. And they would still beat me, and I shot again. And then I shot, and then I didn't see Banger fall. I didn't know where the bullets were going. I was trying to get out of there. That's reckless homicide. That's less time. But you don't know the law. You're not too smart. Everybody want to be gangsters and don't know the rules. You can't know the rules, not know the rules and break them. You dumb. They're going to catch you up, foolish, stupid. So Troy Ave comes now, and he gets caught up, and they charge him with attempt murder, and they charge him with guns and all that, and they come to him because they want to try to think that Troy Ave's testimony is going to solidify that murder charge. But it didn't. It solidified that manslaughter, because manslaughter is somebody killed by you being reckless with a weapon. But he could have got reckless homicide if he would have took the stand and used Troy Ave words against him. That's why when they tell you don't take the stand, don't take the stand, man. I took the stand and won. My lawyer saying don't take the stand. I said I'm taking the stand, and this is what you gonna ask me. I don't care what the DA asked me. I got him. And between my testimony, the CO testimony, because I had a gun from jail, and the security captain testimony, it was Reed moved out and they found me not guilty. And I came on home from, I left Attica and went to some other place, some boondock place, didn't even have phone service. That's when I started drinking Monster. Because I had to be red alert in that place. But anyway, this is what Troy Ave said. Now, let's go to somewhere else. Now, Troy Ave comes out, and just like somebody comes home from jail and they celebrate, he celebrates. Why wouldn't you celebrate? Why would you not celebrate? You're facing 15, 20, 30 years. No, he said 40. Nowhere in hell. He wasn't facing no 40 years for no attempt murder. That does not carry that much time in New York, Texas, California, whatever y'all doing down there. That maybe is the number, but that is not the number up here in New York. But he was facing over 10 years, possibly. So he beats the case. Taxstone gets found guilty of the murder one, of the manslaughter one. He even, like I said, he went above and beyond his testimony duty, and he was able to get Taxstone even found guilty of the things that he might have done with his gun, or the gun he took from Taxstone. So, he celebrate. He make it, dear hater, you want to write a letter, and here's one, all that nonsense. He want to do a video on the steps of the courthouse. He want to show himself fine dining. You know, he want to be happy that he made it out of prison, because he was going to prison. Everybody's saying, would he get that year? I don't think he's going to get the year. I think what they're going to do with him is they might try to slam him with some probation or some supervisory stuff and give him time served for the time he did when he was locked up. That's what I think is going to happen to him in the end. But as far as him getting time, he's not. He was only guaranteed a year for testifying. A year is only 8 months. The charge for a year got to be some type of misdemeanor charge. It's not. He's not getting no year for no felony charge. But they might make it a felony so that they could hold him hostage in hopes that he do something stupid and then they finish him off too. But I don't think that Troy Ave is going to do any time in jail. I really don't think that. So now, let's go to another one. Nope, we don't want to go to that yet. I want to show y'all something. Okay. We want to go all the way big with this. All right, now. Troy Ave. This is what Troy Ave said. I got arrested, stayed in jail to keep it real, because I believed in the streets. Your friend, homies, supposed to handle business and put in work while you down. Hashtag street say. If you all get pulled over, your homies supposed to take the charge for you, because the money earner / provider, so business can continue. Streets lied. This was a myth. When the pressure was on, I'm the only one who performed. All the homies and friends were out for themselves, saying things like, look, I got kids, I can't go to jail, etc. And that's what them people do when that street stuff come to the real subject, when it gets really real. When the war really starts, you know, a lot of people start realizing that I was only here for the money, man. I wasn't really here for this part. I was fronting. I was talking that talk. Now, I throw that gun on you and say, they outside, we going. Some homies, yo, pull up, man. We getting ready to put in this work. They ain't showing up. And some of the ones who show up, they not busting that gun. You gonna say, I got loaded. They gonna give you a lot of excuses. Man, you start busting so quick. I had to. I didn't shoot he didn't shoot his gun one time, and then he gonna tell. He gonna tell. So that's the part where Troy Ave said, I can't do this, bro. I'm sitting in this cell. I'm trying to keep it real. Nobody's here, just my girl. Nobody's sending my girl nothing. You heard Cassanova say that too. His girl put her on the block. When he was out there, everybody was yelling, Cass 2X, Cass 2X. Now he locked up. Where the friends is at? Where the phone calls is at? You know, it's not a lot of dudes that hold you down in jail. It's a lot of females, your mother, your sister, your cousin, the girl you met, the girl you had, the girl you left that want to still get with you. It's always a female, you know what I mean? That single lady who just hit you up on the dating site. They got jail dating sites strictly for inmates. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. You know, and you know a lot of guys get bitter and they sit around them. That's what 6ix9ine said. He sat in that cell and he looked at them charges he was facing and said, they kidnapped me. They had me doing all this nonsense. They didn't respect me. I'm telling. That's what happens. And that's what Troy Ave went through. And people could say you're telling the truth, you're telling it. He told what happened. He told what happened. The bully came. We chased down the bully. The bully had a gun. The bully shot. And I was able to get the gun from the bully somehow. Yeah, but they got caught. He got caught with that gun. And they went down. And Taxstone got found get there, and that's a free man. Celebrating and making big records right now. So now, we're going to go to... There's a point to why I'm bringing this stuff up, too. Cassanova. As we know, when they showed the video with him firing the gun, they had the red arrow saying Cassanova was there. Cassanova said he was there, and he asked Taxstone to come. Taxstone said he wasn't going to come because he really didn't do the party and things. But he pulled up anyway. So it said, Cass to Troy Ave. You don't want problems. I put money on Banger's book. So I'm going to show you something about that. So, you know, Cassanova's out doing his thing, you know. Doing his thing. And, you know, he talking his G shit. And, he, you know, running with the apes and doing his thing, gang banging and setting out the homies and probably like financing a whole lot of stuff. I don't know what he was doing, but that's what he was doing. But him and Troy Ave had beef. Troy Ave speak on saving Cassanova 2X life, so somewhere Troy Ave saved Cass life, you know what I mean? So maybe Cass felt he owed him something. I don't know what their story is. Cassanova goes off on Troy Ave. Troy Ave trying to send people to jail. Everybody's with this snitching thing. Everybody with this snitching thing. So Cassanova accused Troy Ave of trying to send people to jail. I don't know how he was doing it. I guess Troy Ave was doing it. You know, I don't know how you send people to jail. People send themselves to jail. People just help them get there. You send your own self to jail, gangster. Because you do the crime. People just help you get there. By confirming that you did that crime. Don't let people know what you're doing. Probably you won't go to jail. Who knows? So now, we want to go to this one. Now we want to go to this one. Troy Ave goes in, Cassanova. I remember that song. You know, I like listening to rap. Say what you want to say. I like listening to raps. I'm a young old guy, and that's just the way life is. Bottom line, you know, I don't get too involved in all the extra nonsense, but whatever business I got to handle, I handle my business. It really don't matter. One thing about me is you got to say, well, this old guy is loose and reckless. If I die in jail, oh well, what the fuck? If you 21 and you get ready to die in jail, that's fucked up. That's messed up. But if I'm 60 getting ready to die in jail, what the hell? I've been in the streets battling and messed up my life trying to correct it for so long. Who cares? Who cares? Like I said, a lot of people is on this YouTube and they're making money off of this YouTube. YouTube ain't sending me no check. I ain't monetized on this thing. I'm just that guy who like try to clear the air, man, and give people a different perspective of things. Because if I got to go out there, I'm out there, and I know what's out there already. I don't mess with these young boys. I go visit them. I used to take phone calls from them, but that phone call became too expensive because everybody from every jail want to call, and I don't got time for it. And you want this, you want that. And where your team at? Where your team at? I tried to tell you before you was going in jail, bro. It don't take no group to go to jail, bro. You can go to jail by yourself because you by yourself when you go anyway. So why not go by yourself? What you with the mob for? Why are you with the mob for? You can go to jail by yourself. You can do all the stuff you do with a mob by yourself and catch that case by yourself. But let's go here to here. So Cassanova goes to Troy Ave. It's the point while I'm bringing this all up. I just want everybody to be on the same page with me to understand. We already seen that Taxstone said he was bullying Troy Ave for 5 years. Troy Ave decided to fight back. Finally, when they see each other off the internet, you know, things happen. Banger got killed. Troy Ave got shot. Taxstone getting ready to go to jail for a long time. And he might don't go that long, but he's going to do at least another 10 years. He's going to do at least another. I got 12 years for a manslaughter one. He's got state charge and federal charge. I had state charge and federal charge too. I got 4 years for the state. I got 24 years plus 5 years probation. I got 7 years for the feds, and I did 2.5 years. And I came home with the rest on federal probation. I left the state and went and did my fed bid. So I did 6.5 years. So he's gonna, chances are that the states and the feds ain't gonna run their time together. They're gonna wanna let them pay because somebody died in this situation regardless. Somebody died. And the family's been showing up to court. That means a lot too. Them family members get up there, boy. They act like they had an angel. They really do. Not no disrespect or no slight on what happened, but that's all I could say. Put your own words with it. So let's go to here. No, we don't want to go there yet. We want to go here first. Nope, we don't want to go there. I think we finished with Taxstone after that. No, I think we had another one with Taxstone. Nope, that's it. So now, I think I had another one. Troy Ave said, I have to snitch. I'm facing 40 years and my homie left me hanging. Would something have changed if his homies was there? If his homies held him down? If they found out who shot him while he was in his car and went and busted them guns back? Even if they shot some buildings, boy, we went and busted that thing, boy. We got you, boy. He'd have felt good. He wasn't charged with Banger's murder, so he really didn't have to go and testify against Taxstone because he never was charged with the murder. Maybe he seen the pressure coming at him and he wanted to get that pressure off of him. Yo, bro, I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, you did because you started the fight. You know what I mean? But at that, you know, can't say you started the fight neither because somebody's bullying you on the internet, on social media, and then you finally see them, you're already scared that they're going to try to do something to you. You're already on, 100. You're on red alert. And if you could pop first, that's what you're going to do. And you felt that you was in a venue where nobody had guns inside. You had guns in your car. Probably other people had guns in his car. You figure Uncle Murder was there. He done got shot. No, he got a gun somewhere close. You think Maino was there. Maino, he know a lot of people don't like him. He got a gun somewhere close. You feel Cassanova was there. You and Cassanova have beef. You know what I mean? You said you shot at Cassanova and all types of stuff. You saved his life. So Cassanova know that somewhere close by he have a gun. All the people know that you can't bring no gun inside that venue. But Taxstone was able to get his in. So we can't say you started it or who started it. The man said he started it with you on social media. Troy Ave did a lot of interviews and said he didn't have a beef with Taxstone. Cassanova clowns Troy Ave on Breakfast Club interview. The new two-pack, more like the new Soldier Boy. Troy Ave says Casanova 2X begged for his life when he pulled the hammer out. So there you go, Troy Ave says, and that's the reason why I'm bringing this up. You'll see, we're going to put it all together at the end. So Casanova to Troy Ave, and you don't want problems. So these is ongoing feuds, you know what I mean? So you're there in a venue and Casanova there, and you and Casanova been having some undue beef, but I guess Casanova begged for his life before, so Casanova really not going to set no problems. He probably is there. Or maybe Casanova was going to try something when you left. Who knows what's going to go on? These people are stupid. They try to rock you to sleep. So now, we're going to go here. Maino. Now, Maino's been getting on social media, and he's been going at Troy Ave neck. And he's been saying that Troy Ave, he don't respect that Troy Ave got on the stand and made it look like he's the victim, and he didn't keep it all the way real. Troy Ave kept it all the way real. Like I said, Taxstone should have took the stand, and he wouldn't have been found of that manslaughter one. There's no way they could have found him of it. They wouldn't have found him guilty of it if he would have took the stand, because regardless of what Maino is saying, Troy Ave kept it real. Troy Ave kept it real. He said, Taxstone came in and said it was popping. Banger said he gonna pop on him. He gonna, however they worded it. Troy Ave said he winked his eye and told him, do your thing. So that's saying they started it when he came in. So Maino can't say that Troy Ave got on the stand and remixed the whole situation. No, he said he started it. He said that's when the guns came out. He didn't go further and say, well, Banger proceeded to walk up to him, punch him, and then I tried to hit him, boom, and then he pulled a gun out and started shooting, and that's how Banger got shot. He didn't say all of that. But he did give the indication that they started the fight, which resulted in Banger getting killed. And that's why I said Taxstone should have got on the stand and said they started the fight. And when he hit me, boom, I turned. This one hit me, bang, I turned. When I look, I see some more people coming, so I pulled a gun out and I just started firing. I didn't fire to shoot nobody. I fired for the people to get up off of me. And I end up shooting this person, shooting him twice in his leg, shooting the girl. I wouldn't have said shooting the girl because, hey, man, Troy Ave shot the girl, man. I wouldn't have said I ain't shot the girl. I shot Troy Ave, and I mistakenly shot Banger. You see, he should have got on the stand. So now, Maino says that, but Maino didn't really read the story. So Troy Ave says in response to Maino, how can Maino talk about it and see anything when Maino ran out of shoes? Maino even said that his shoe came off. How his shoe came off, I don't know. That's his situation. It's his story. But you had to be moving for your shoe to come off. You know what I mean? Your shoe came off. You're barefooted. Chick got shot. You was nowhere around protecting her. You had to go back. You know, you said this. I'm not saying this. This is what Maino said. You know, you couldn't leave. You know what I mean? But you boogied, boy. You boogied. So, you know, like, I just look at Maino and what Maino talking and think. And I got some points to make about that, too. So, then it says, Maino calls out Troy Ave for taking the stand and playing victim in court. That's what Maino said. He said Troy Ave played the victim in court. Troy Ave didn't tell the whole story. To me, Troy Ave told the whole story. He said they started it. He said Banger said he gonna hit him. He winked and said, "Do your thing." So they approached him. They wanted to set it. Once he said what's popping, you know, you say threatening, and that's not true in that. And that's what Taxstone could have said. You know, that's not true. Like, when I said what's popping, I was just saying what's up, you know, in a, you know, greeting manner. I didn't mean it for no problems. And next thing I know, beating me up. They beating me up. And I got all these guys beating me up. So I backed that gun and I start firing. I didn't see where I was firing because my head was down. And then later on, I found out somebody died. I know I shot Troy Ave in his leg because he was the closest one to me after the first hit. He could have remixed the story. He could have defended himself, and he wouldn't have found guilty of that manslaughter 1. Because they didn't have manslaughter on the ticket. They didn't have reckless homicide in the ticket. They didn't have involuntary homicide on the ticket. Involuntary manslaughter. Let's look at that. Let's just look at that. How many manslaughter charges do they have in New York? Let's see that. So y'all don't think I'm reaching. So I don't want to be reaching on y'all. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if this come up. You got manslaughter. That's the recklessness. You got second-degree manslaughter. You got aggravated manslaughter. You got involuntary manslaughter. You got voluntary manslaughter. So you got different degrees of manslaughter, which is different elements, which comprises of different criminal behavior. He could have did something for himself, but he chose, I'm not going to take the stand. I know Troy Ave going to bury me, man. I don't got time for Troy Ave burying me, man. I'm thinking. I'm playing this chess game. I'm not resigning. I'm not resigning the chess game. I'm not. I'm going anywhere. I know it's not murder in the second degree. I know it's going to end up manslaughter. I know that. I'm getting on that stand. He let him own self down. And that's why Troy Ave got to win. So, you go on and you see the Maino thing going on. And I think we finished with the Maino thing. So, now you got Joe Budden. Joe Budden get up there with his opinion and calling him a doofus, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know nothing about Joe Budden or nothing like that, but I swear to God, he don't look like he handling no long bitch himself, you know. And as a person who's on a podcast, and you trying to act like, you know, you're coming in and you're trying to, you know, give your point on something, you should be in a position where you could give a real good point. Like, not some crazy ass little young boy point, because that's what you're giving, a young boy point. I don't care what nobody says, you know what I mean? So I don't give what nobody say, man. Like, Troy Ave displays he's a doofus yet again, because he's celebrating his win. He's celebrating him not going in jail. He's celebrating Taxstone not taking the stand and winning. Because if Taxstone would have took the stand, he would only be facing those, you know, lower charges with the assault things, with the guns. He went and got charged with that manslaughter first, because none of the other manslaughters was included in the charges. He had murder second and manslaughter one. They found him guilty of manslaughter one. If he would have got on the stand and utilized Troy Ave's testimony to his benefit, he would have seen a better response from them jurors. He would have. Because manslaughter wasn't in there, and it wouldn't have been manslaughter first. It would have been manslaughter or involuntary manslaughter. It wouldn't have been manslaughter. Now, the juries could have tried to throw that in, but then that's good up for appeal, because it wasn't in the charges, so the jurors could not throw that in. But he's smart. So now you got Joe Budden standing there and talking about how Troy Ave is doofus, because he makes the video on the stage, on the thing. He makes the video on the court steps and all that. Who does that? He does that. Nobody would never do that. Troy Ave did it. Troy Ave is living his best life right now. He's not going to jail. He hasn't been to prison before. He's happy he's not going to prison. And unlike everybody else who take the stand against their people or considered a rat or a snitch, he out there making music, you know, doing his thing, you know, got his podcast going, whether you like me or not, because he understands one concept in life. Where some like me, where one don't like me, there's threes that's going to like me. So he's banking on those three people, and he keeps going. And he did the video on the court steps to say, I won. I'm not going to jail. This fool did not take the stand and help himself. He relied on whatever happened for them people to make a decision without him saying anything, which was foolish. Don't do that, yo. When you got a rat against you, you listening to that rat tell a story, you spin that. You play chess, you spin that. You're going down anyway. You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So you step up to the plate. And if you really a player, if you really a gangster, this is what you'll have to do. Think, man. Chess, not checkers. So Joe Budden, you know what I mean? He's going in. And then he got on Mysonne, you know, Mysonne, you know. Here's a guy who I watched a video of him going into an Asian store and telling the black girl she shouldn't be working with the Asians and this, that, and the other, and trying to tell the black girl, you know, like walk out or something. The black girl was like, this is my job, and called her brothers. And when her brothers came, he changed his whole story. So you're an older man. This guy says you 50. I don't know nothing about you. You're a failed rapper. I don't know nothing about you. That's what he says. You know, but my thing is, at your age, and you did time in jail, above anything, you should know how this thing go. And all these young people could go on about this rat, this. They got rats right in their crew right now. They just haven't been exposed because they haven't done nothing where the feds came and got them. So they have yet to be exposed, but they're there. And you got some people that's even talking to the police and giving them information about you, them informants. See, they got the informants too. The police call them up. Meet me over here. We want to figure this out. What could you help us with? He's not going to trial. They're not letting him do that. Because they know that You're gonna snitch. What did YSL judge said? They all tell on each other. That's a judge saying it, and y'all fools still out there believing like it's so amazing that somebody's snitching. This snitch nation. There's so many snitches more than ever in life. So then we go to Trife Gangster. Trife Gangster exposes Cassanova. Cassanova is there. They showed the little arrow, Cassanova. That's Cassanova over there. Look at the Cassanova. You ain't see Maino to the end, but when Troy was shooting that gun, they put the arrow, Cassanova. Look at Cassanova. The media was telling on Cassanova. They could have snatched Cassanova. What do you know about this situation? But they really didn't have to do that with Cassanova because Trife Gangster showed you why. Trife Gangster on Casanova wiretap phone call confirming Taxstone let off at Urban Plaza. So Taxstone there, his phone is all tapped. Anybody, look at Casanova. Yo, that's Casanova right there. Yo, you seen Casanova right there when Troy Ave shot that gun? Yo, yeah, man, you know, Troy Ave took the gun from Taxstone. He got shot in his leg twice, man. Casanova was right there. Casanova feels the best thing he could do is run right on the phone when his phone is wiretap and say, yo, bro, guess what the fuck happened? Yo, what happened? Where you at, Scrap? Yo, I'm at Urban Plaza, bro. I told Taxstone come with me. He said that. Oh, no, I didn't say that. He said he told Taxstone to come out with him. Taxstone does not like the party. Taxstone said he's not going, so he went by himself. Or whatever who he went with. Taxstone showed up later. He said, yeah, man, Taxstone pulled up, man. He shot the place up. Your whole phone is wiretapped. Your whole phone is wiretapped. I didn't say this. Look, Trife Gangster said it. I just could imagine how it happening there. And I read the article on Taxstone and said they had wiretaps on their phones. So then you got this foolish shit. I realized that YouTube is all about, you know, bait words. Whack 100 press Trife Gangster about Troy Ave taking that. How you could press him? You ain't pressed him, man. I listened to it. You ask the man question. You talk so much that you couldn't even get the information out. Man ain't pressed nobody, man. Man ain't pressed nobody. Them motherfucking Whack 100, he telling, what? What? Y'all listen, y'all play with Whack 100 if you want. You going to jail. Talking about meet him here, giving you his address. You pull up there and shit go wrong. You got to want to be caught at him, ready. Yeah, he told him the address. He pulled up. He had the gun. Whack got shot the fuck up or Whack got stomped out. He in the hospital now. You going to jail. You going to jail. Real gangsters don't talk like that. He'd inbox you that. Make it so only you could tell or I could tell. Not the whole social media could tell. So now, Trife, you know, I'm no Trife. I met Trife when he was locked up. I like Trife a lot. Trife came out, did his little non-for-profit thing, put his little family on his little blood family on the map. They were all over the place with a lot of stand-up things going on, and all he wanted was justice for his brother. You know, everybody talk about street justice and all that, but everybody not doing that street justice shit. Some people is, but everybody's not doing it. You know, some people are saying, just let the government do what the government job is. They're not saying, well, the government said, yo, we know who did it, and his name is such and such, and we going to hunt him and trying to get him before the government get him. Somebody did shoot up, whatchamacallit, you know. So, you know, Maino, he's saying that Troy Ave didn't keep it real. Troy Ave kept it real. He said they started it. He said that. He said they started it. Taxstone didn't keep it real with himself and get on the stand and twist that to his favor. He let that sit and let that go in the judge's head. So they looked past Troy Ave starting it and went right with the shooting. If he would have got on the stand, he could have made them focus more on, they started it, I was scared, yes, I had the gun. He pled guilty to the guns already, so, hey, man, what do you got to lose? He played himself. But let me show you something now. Maino lost his shoe. Maino was hauling ass. Maino said, I'm out of there. Boy, lost his shoe and everything. Go there, tell us nothing, Maino. Maino said, I lost his shoes and everything. Now, we're going to go to this. Lucky Luciano. Lucky Luciano, see, you got all these gangs now. When Lucky Luciano was out there, they had all these mobsters. And it was a lot of them. You know, it was a lot of families, you know what I mean? A lot of them doing all this gangster stuff, you know what I mean? A lot of killings going on, just like right now. You know, this mob fighting this mob, these guys going after these guys, that guy going BSB. They all naming themselves and they going after each other. This blood set fighting this blood set, and everybody's losing. Lucky Luciano, back in the 1930s, was a gangster who implemented the 5 families, which allowed territory and industry of all 5 families to thrive. To mediate disputes, he created the commission. You have to mediate these disputes. Everybody's losing. Everybody's losing and still trying to win. People are getting caught up in situation, and then they're telling, and then they're considered a rat, so they can't go on their social media no more. Look at Gunna. Where he at? What record he producing? Look at 6ix9ine. He just got beat up. Look at this. Look at what's going on. You know, YF and Lucy, he just decided he's not going to testify against YSL, Young Thug, but at the same time, he's already facing charges. So he come out of his charges, he's looking good. But these people are selective of who they back, because Wack want to back 6ix9ine, but tell New York to take care of him. Academics want to back 6ix9ine, but say all these other people ratting it. Should you mess with him? Should he be doing this? You ain't saying that about 6ix9ine. You become selective. Troy Ave said, the hell with it. Call me what you want to call me. Do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I got to do, and I'm going to still make my records, and I'm going to throw it all in your face, and I'm going to celebrate till I die. And that's what he doing till y'all get tired of talking about him. So y'all should be able to develop some kind of crew to help fight the problems and stop the problems. You had Maino there, who knew Taxstone. You had Uncle Murder there, who knew Taxstone. You had Cassanova there, who knew Taxstone. And Cassanova knew Taxstone and Banger, and said he put books on money on Banger books while more than once, like 2 or 3 times, he said, while Banger was locked up, saying his man's dumb, you know, they ain't coming through, boom, 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 called him up, and he looked out. Why didn't you do some intervention? Why didn't you approach Banger and say, man, don't do that, man, it's not here, man, let's squash this, let's get this over, and then all of this would not have happened. But Cassanova had problems with Troy Ave, so he wanted to see something happen to him. Uncle Murder, he low. You don't see his name coming up. You don't see him talking about it. That's the real man shit to do. Maino's out there. Uncle Murder talked about it one time on the Breakfast Club, I think it was, with Angie G. He talked about it one time. Him and Maino was there, but he didn't say much, you know. So that's the real man stuff to do. That's the stuff you do. Mind your business. Don't start putting your opinion in, you know, and then you calling the facts first. You saying Maino saying that Troy Ave tried to look like the victim. No, he became the victim. He got shot, but he started it, and he said he started it. He didn't go all in depth, but he said, yep, he said it was popping and we popped. And the gun came out. But if y'all look at the gangsters back in the day and see how they start protecting each other by stopping all the beef to bringing all the heat to them, and everybody's losing, everybody losing money, then you ought to do that. But y'all don't want to do that. Rather than you get up there and say, man, we got to stop this, man. We lost a good brother. This brother doing this, you know, he's celebrating and he's doing his thing. He's still making his records. He's still doing him. He's still trying to get his money, trying to sell merchandise and all of that. Troy Ave is. So what's the case, bro? This is what's wrong with black people. Y'all group up together. All y'all want to see is each other go down, each other die. When you have the ability to mediate the situations and stop the situations. And we're going to end with this quote right here. See, because I don't want to be on here and say, I'm talking this and I'm talking that. Nah, man, I'm talking a lot of sense, man. But y'all don't like sense out there. Y'all want drama. Y'all want to see y'all brother die rather than survive. Y'all want to see y'all brother broke rather than get money. Then y'all wonder why this person got all the stores in the hood. And these Chinese people got this, and the Arab people got this, and the Spanish people got this. But y'all don't want your brother to get nothing. You're not going to tell them how to build up the hood. You're going to tell them how to create a group to destroy the neighborhood. And when you see somebody in a problem, and you think, and you have the ability to minimize that and stop that from going down. You stand back and let it happen. Then once it happened, you have all these opinions about who should have did this and who should have did this. That man want to save his life. That man was facing a whole lot of time in prison and never been there before. That man made a move punching a man, or they beat a man up and punched a man in the face. That shit did not turn out in their favor. And somebody died. And then the big man who died, family looking at him, he had to correct that. He don't want no more problems. And they steady going at the man to bring more problems with the man. This is what it said, man. Failure to effectively use intervention strategy available to help our young people would be a tragic mistake. And it's a total tragic mistake. And before you look at what happened, look at what you could have did to make it not happen. Before you look at what's that man doing, think about how you could help that man so he don't have to do what he did again. Think about those things. And y'all have a good night. Content analysis, 2750. My puppy dog is my profile.